Guys, what's going on? It's Ultimus. I'm excited about this one. Not to say that I wasn't excited about the others, but we're talking about a class and a spec that I play a little bit of, so of course I got a little bit of an invested interest in this one. So without further ado, we're going to jump right in. Class previews of Paladins. Paladins have deep roots in Warcraft lore as holy knights, protectors of the people, dispensers of justice. Where a holy priest serves as the voice of the light, preaching to the downtrodden and disillusioned, the paladin serves as the hand of the light. Darn right we do. Defending the faithful and enforcing divine law like a righteous hammer. The niche of the plate-wearing holy crusader is well established in paladin gameplay, with one key exception. Whether paladins are mitigating enemy attacks, aiding their ailing allies, or delivering punitive justice, it is in their nature to serve with the thick of battle. While holy paladins possess the heavy armor and strong defensive ability themes, in practice they spend most of their time behind the front lines with the more fragile healers. In addition to shoring up the identities of protection and retribution paladins, we're adjusting a holy paladin gameplay to bring them closer to the front where they belong. Interesting. So am I going to be able to play my holy paladin like I play my warrior, all like up in the enemy face, in their grill, and just making like stuff happen? I don't know. Just wondering. Just curious about this. Also, I'm weirding out because my OBS is like acting really weird for a second. So this was like trippy to me. Is this good? We're good? Okay, cool. Moving on. Holy. The only spec that really matters. We probably won't even read the rest of this, to be honest. No, I'm kidding. We're going to read all of it. I just really am excited about holy. Like priests who serve the light, holy paladins are devout in their faith. After spending much of their lives in hallowed halls studying divine doctrine, those who pledge themselves to a holy order become beacons of the light for their allies in conflict, taking up the heavy armor and weapon of justice, holding the unwavering belief that any battle waged to eradicate evil in the world is righteous. These paladins stand on the front lines in service to all others dedicated to the cause. The truth and virtue of the light imbues these sacred knights with the power to revitalize their comrades. If necessary, they even lay down their own lives to serve as a martyr for the greater good. Gameplay. The real meat and potatoes of everything, right? We love the unique identity of the paladin healer and are modifying the gameplay to better support it. Single target healing from Beacon of Light remains their marquee ability, but other abilities and talents have been adjusted to encourage holy paladins to be near the people they want to heal, including melee characters when necessary. This is incentivized by Lightbringer, a new mastery which increases healing on allies near you. That's right, they did say they were removing the bubble effect from mastery because they're wanting paladins to not be so focused on absorbs, whereas disciplined priests were really more focusing on that. So they're changing our mastery. So, increases healing on allies near you. This is further reinforced by the addition of a row of aura talents that provide a variety of localized beneficial effects and refinements to some spells such as Light of Dawn, returning to being a cone. Thank you! Oh my goodness, that's just wonderful. It's such a minor thing, but it made such a big difference. Like, even as someone who played at Holy Paladin as an alt, there's the difference between Holy Paladin, say, in Cataclysm and Mist of Pandaria. It was just different. I had so much fun playing my Holy Paladin in Cataclysm, and I didn't touch her but for maybe half of a season in Mist of Pandaria. I just couldn't do it. And I'm having fun on Holy Paladins now, but not as much as I did in Cataclysm. Maybe, I don't know, maybe that's just because it's an alt and I don't have the attachment to the class, but that's just my 2 cents on that one. To give you an idea of the Holy Paladin in action, here's a basic look at their core combat abilities. I missed a row. Hold on a second. I'm too excited. I'm getting all sorts of cray up in here. That's right, I said it. Talents will also provide players with the options to incorporate offensive capabilities while healing. Interesting. While allies are in need, the Light of the Martyr allows the Holy Paladin to rapidly heal them with sanctified personal health. Finally, we're addressing gameplay restrictions caused by holy power, in which players often feel forced to use abilities in specific orders or ratios by removing it in favor of making mana the primary resource. So we are getting rid of holy power, it seems. I'm okay with that. I never really liked holy power as a resource. I just couldn't get into it. It wasn't my jam. I think I hardly ever cast Word of Glory, and I know I probably should, but I don't like messing with my holy power. I just don't do it. It's so bad, I know, but there it is. Our skills and abilities now. Holy Light, 2% mana, 40-yard range, 2.5-second cast. A slow but effective spell healing a friendly target for a moderate amount. Flash of Light is a 4% mana, 40-yard range, 1.5-second cast. A quick but expensive spell healing a friendly target for a moderate amount. So I'm curious if our gameplay style is going to switch from spamming Flash of Light. Because right now, like, you're supposed to technically just spam the butts off of Flash of Light. I wonder if that will change. Lights of the Martyr is a 2.5 mana cost, 40-yard range, and an instant cast. Sacrifices a moderate amount of your own health to instantly heal an ally for a moderate amount. Cannot be cast on yourself. That makes sense. That would be kind of pointless. But that's kind of cool. So you can literally... It's like... oh. Shoot, what's that skill called? Hand of Sacrifice? That's like Hand of Sacrifice on crack. Instead of slowly just absorbing and transferring that damage from the target, it's a little bit reversed. You just take your own health and transfer it to them. That's kind of cool. I can get behind that. That sounds like a lot of fun, managing that. I've always liked that gameplay mechanic of doing damage to yourself to either do damage or heal your targets. And so I think for a Holy Paladin, that might be interesting to throw that out there. Be kind of cool. Light of Dawn. 4% mana, 1.5-second cast, 12-second cooldown, unleashes a wave of healing energy before you, healing up to 5 injured allies within a 15-yard frontal cone for a moderate amount. So that's going back to a cone. Wonderful. I can't express how happy that makes me. Like, literally, I don't even think I have a Light of Dawn on my bars right now on my Holy Paladin. If I do, it's just for like when I get into random BGs and I feel like just derping off. But I don't cast it ever in arenas. I don't hardly ever cast it in BGs either. Yeah, Light of Dawn's pretty much useless right now. So that'd be cool to see if it turns into a cone, how that will work out, if it gets any stronger too. Holy Shock is a 1.5% mana cost, 40-yard range, instant, 10-second cooldown, instantly trigger a burst of light on the target, dealing moderate holy damage to an enemy or moderate healing to an ally. Holy Shock has double the normal critical strike chance. Infusion of Light is a passive. Your Holy Shock criticals reduce the cast time of your next Holy Light by 1.5 seconds, or increase the healing of your next flash of light by 50%. So, okay, you can get either a buff, and you'll get the buff on you, and you can either use it on Holy Light or Flash of Light. That's kind of cool. I like that. Options, not just one proc. That's kind of cool. Beacon of Light is a 0.5% mana, 60-yard range, instant 3-second cooldown. Place a Beacon of Light on a friendly target. Your heals on another raid or part of your raid member will also heal the Beacon of Light target for up to 50% of the amount healed. Your Flash of Light and Holy Light on the Beacon of Light target are also refund 40% of their mana cost. That's kind of cool. So, because that's new. I don't think that's in game right now. And if it is, I really just did not read my talents or abilities, which is completely possible. The only like class that I know fairly like in and out is my warrior. But that's kind of cool. If you're gonna heal your beacon, that refunds 40% of their mana for Flash of Light and Holy Light. It's kind of cool. Mastery is Lightbringer. Proximity to your target causes your spells to heal for up to 30% more. Of course, that's with Mastery from typical gear. So, again, there's that Mastery emphasizing the closer you are to your target, the more healing you're going to do on them, which is really cool. So if you're like standing right on top of them, I can dig that. That's a kind of a cool Mastery, and I don't know how well this is going to play out, but again, I typically like to stay pretty close to my allies. I don't like to get too far away from them. So that might actually benefit my playstyle pretty well. Alright, I can dig it. Sounds like fun. Additionally, to provide a glimpse of how some talents may build upon this, here's an example of a wholly specific talent. Beacon of the Lightbringer. It's a passive. The maximum bonus from Mastery Lightbringer is increased by 24%, and now increases your healing based on the target's proximity to either you or your Beacon of Light, whichever is closer. So it plays off of Beacon as well. That's kind of cool. Also, that's one of the coolest looking Paladin armor sets. Just throwing that out there. Protection. Back in the day, I leveled my Paladin as Protection, but when I first created her, she actually used to be a Blood Elf. Was a male Blood Elf. Female Blood Elf. What's the difference? Ha! Shots fired. And I used to BG on that prop Paladin, and I would just destroy people with friggin' Avenger Shield, throwing that thing around, just one-shotting kids in low-level BGs. That was the days, man. Those were the days. The Paladin's tools of war lay bare their motivations. Clenched in one hand is the weapon, a deadly device for exacting righteous judgment. Locked in the other hand is the shield, a symbolic and literal barrier protecting good from evil. Stalwart and steadfast, these protectors are ardent defenders of the light and all that it touches, and are rejuvenated by its radiance in return. So dedicated they are to their cause that they consecrate the very ground upon which they battle corruption. That was always one of my favorite spells as a protection paladin too. Consecration was just cool. Throw that thing down and just watch the ground light up with holy electric glory. It's just kind of cool. Gameplay. The Protection Paladin arsenal is already closely aligned with its theme. The primary change is the removal of holy power. So it seems like it's going to be all across the board until we get to ret. We'll double check that one. It wouldn't surprise me if they kept it on ret, but I kind of hope they don't. Because holy power is kind of dumb. Which didn't have a lot of depth and mostly amounted to limiting use of only a couple of abilities. Instead, these abilities now have cooldowns to allow for better interaction with other abilities. We're also addressing an awkward control issue with Crusader Strike and Hammer of the Righteous. To improve control and depth, instead of two functionally identical apart from the AoE abilities, we've switched to one that conditionally triggers the AoE while standing in Consecration. Judgment is a good example of an ability that is staying simple. Baseline. So as to provide a strong platform for talents and other effects to build upon. For defensive buttons, we've replaced Word of Glory with a self-focused spell, Light of the Protector, allowing it to be much more interesting and impactful. To give you an idea of the Protection Paladin in action, here's a basic look at their core combat abilities. Defensive Shield of the Righteous, melee range, instant, 12-second recharge, and it gets 3 charges, okay. Instantly slam the target with your shield, causing huge holy damage and reducing damage you take by 25% for 4.5 seconds. Nice little debuff there on that one. Light of the Protector is an instant with a 15-second cooldown. Calls down the light to heal yourself for 50% of your missing health. Okay, so not 50% of your total health, but whatever your missing health is. So it's completely proportionate to how much damage you've already taken. That's going to be a gnarly, just like, oh crap button that you can save yourself. If you're getting kind of low, obviously that's going to be a more effective heal. And on a 15-second cooldown, that's not bad. That's actually pretty good. That sounds pretty intense, actually. Redoubt passive. Your auto attack critical strikes cause you to gain a charge of Shield of the Righteous or Light of the Protector. Interesting. So it's got... It didn't say anything about Light of the Protector having charges. That's interesting. So does it just instantly refresh the cooldown? Alright. Mastery, Divine Bulwark. Increases the damage reduction of your Shield of the Righteous by 10% with Mastery from typical gear, and increases your chance to block melee attacks by 20%. Same with Mastery from typical gear. Also increases your attack power by 20%. So just all sorts of gnarly buffs there from that one. Jeez. Offensive abilities now. Avenger's Shield is a 30-yard range instant with a 15-second cooldown. Hurls your shield at the enemy target, dealing strong holy damage, interrupting and silencing the target for 3 seconds, and then jumping to 2 additional nearby enemies. Still a good old Captain America shield. I'm kind of glad they didn't change it. That was like my favorite skill as a protection paladin. Just like throwing that shield out there, just binging people upside the head and watching them fall apart. Great. Also increases the effects of your next Shield of the Righteous or Light of the Protector by 20%. That's intense. So you can pop that bad boy out there, and then you're getting like a buff to your like core defensive abilities. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So that would mean your Light of the Protector would heal you for 70% of your missing health. I mean, unless I'm forgetting about other mitigating factors. I think that seems pretty straightforward. Hammer of the Righteous, melee range, instant, 3-second recharge, 2 charges. Hammer the current target for moderate physical damage. If you are standing in your consecration, Hammer of the Righteous also deals a wave of light that hits all other targets within 8 yards for minor holy damage. And it's totally pointless, and it's all aesthetic, but I almost wish they would have kept that as Crusader Strike as opposed to Hammer of the Righteous and just gave it the same effect, but that's just me being nitpicky, I think. WoW players, we're not nitpicky at all. No. We just go with the flow. We never complain about anything. Grand Crusader is a passive. When you avoid a melee attack or use Hammer of the Righteous, you have a 15% chance of refreshing the cooldown on your Avenger's Shield. Judgment is a 30-yard range, instant, 6-second cooldown. Judge an enemy, dealing strong holy damage. So pretty much exactly how it operates. Consecration is an instant with a 9-second cooldown. Consecrates the land beneath you, causing strong holy damage over 9 seconds to enemies who enter the area. Additionally, to provide a glimpse at how some talents may build upon this, here's an example of a protection-specific talent. Blessed Hammer is an instant spell, 3-second recharge on 2 charges. Throw a Divine Hammer that spirals outward from the Paladin, dealing moderate holy damage to enemies it passes through. Replaces Hammer of the Righteous. So we're getting Captain America's shield and Thor's hammer? Oh, dude. Looks like I'm rerolling protection. That's great. That's good news for me. Maybe that's like cheap and silly to compare it to that, but I mean, I'm not wrong, right? That's what it sounds like. We got Captain America's shield and we're getting Thor's hammer. I mean, I don't have problems with that. I'm not complaining. So protection sounds like it's actually going to be kind of fun. I might have to re-roll back to that and check that out, because I really don't play Ret at all, except for soloing instances, and if I can do that with Proth, then why the heck not? I made a rhyme. Ha, a poet, didn't even know it. Retribution. To serve as instrument of the light is to hold an unshakable faith. Oftentimes the most dedicated paladins become fanatical in their devotion, instruments of retribution against those who dare defy the laws of the divine. These paladins are vengeful guardians of the weak, crusaders judging and punishing the wicked. Their resolute conviction in the divine order of all things assures them that victory is inevitable, but they will fight to the end to ensure that the light prevails. Gameplay. We're making several tweaks to Retribution and to amplify their character. In particular, we've refocused most of their core abilities on short-range combat. So many of the Retribution Paladin's abilities were ranged spells that they started to feel more like a caster than a melee crusader, which is true. I can attest to that. A new ability, Blade of Justice, along with several new talents, will impact gameplay significantly, bolstering the inherent Retribution themes. Separating them from other types of paladins, Retribution Paladins continue to use Holy Power. Nailed it. Called that one. I'm feeling smart, guys. I feel like I'm getting where they're going with this. This is kind of cool. I'm getting in tune with Blizzard here. Serving as a strong mechanic for building interesting gameplay. Let's hope, because Holy Power was kind of meh all this whole time. So we'll see. To give you an idea of Retribution Paladins in action, here's a basic look at their core combat abilities. So they're keeping Crusader Strike, which also does not surprise me. Melee range, instant 4.5 second cooldown, an instant strike that causes moderate physical damage and grants 1 Holy Power. Blade of Justice, a 12-yard range. Interesting. Okay, there's still range there, whatever. 12-second cooldown, strikes an enemy with the Blade of Justice, dealing strong holy damage and generating 2 Holy Power. Okay. Judgment, 30-yard range, instant, 12-second cooldown, judge an enemy, dealing moderate holy damage and causing the target to take 30% increased damage from your Holy Power generators and consumers for 6 seconds. So, Judgment's got a nice little buff attached to it, so almost, I mean, it's not quite Colossus Smash, but it's very similar in that you're throwing this on the target and they're going to take increased damage from specific abilities. Anything that generates or uses Holy Power. Get behind that. Templar's Verdict, 3 Holy Power, melee range, instant, a powerful weapon strike that deals massive holy damage. Divine Storm, it costs 3 Holy Power, instant, a whirl of divine energy dealing strong holy damage to all enemies within 8 yards. So pretty much functioning the same. Conviction is a passive. Your Crusader Strike and Blade of Justice have a 20% chance to generate 1 additional Holy Power. Mastery is Hand of the Light. Your Crusader Strike, Blade of Justice, Divine Storm, and Templar's Verdict deal 45% additional holy damage. Of course, as always, with Mastery from typical gear. So just basically a flatline buff to all your main abilities. Almost very similar to how Arms Warrior Mastery works right now with buffs to Colossus Smash, Execute, and Mortal Strike. Dig it. Additionally, to provide a glimpse of how some talents may build upon this, here's one example of a Retribution-specific talent. Lothar's Might, 30-yard range, instant. Again, with the range, what the heck? Alright, whatever. You know what? Maybe there's only going to be a couple range spells. I mean, some range makes sense, but, I mean, we've already seen a couple. This seems a bit strange. 30-second cooldown. Flings a blade of holy light at the target location. Reactivating will teleport the paladin to the blade and strike nearby enemies for moderate holy damage. Replaces Hand of Hindrance. I have no idea what this Hand of Hindrance spell is, but apparently it's a new one. But that's like Tyrael from Stinking Heroes of the Storm. Also, that definitely will solve some of Paladin's mobility issues. Because aside from Blazing Light, and if you take the talent that increases your run speed per holy charge of holy power, I should say, you really don't have a whole lot of movement speed increases. That looks cool. As long as that actually looks cool. If it's as cool as it sounds, man, I cannot get the sentence out. That I'm all like just all over the place here. It's crazy. Recollect. If that looks as cool as it sounds, that's going to be a pretty sick spell. Like, on a 30-second cooldown, not bad. That's pretty cool. I could get behind that, especially if it looks cool. That would be a spell I'd want to cast. Pretty cool. So overall, I'm actually really liking the changes they're going to be rolling with for Paladins. Of course, specifically Holy, because I really don't play the other specs a whole lot. But Holy specifically sounds like it could be a lot of fun, especially continuing to enhance that gameplay where they're encouraging you to really want to be up and in the fray, in the action, standing closer to your friendlies to heal them. I wonder if they're going to give us any abilities that increase our movement speed so we can catch up to our allies a little bit better. I mean, I know we have Hand of Freedom, things like that, but again, Blazing Light or Blazing Speed doesn't really cut it sometimes. I don't know. We'll see. I'm optimistic, though. I still am. I'm excited to see what they do with Holy Paladins, especially if I end up still playing one come Legion. But that's going to do it for this video. Wrapping it up here. The next classes they got coming out for us to take a look at are Warlocks, Death Knights, and Shamans. Very, very interesting. 2 of those I actually play. 1 I just got to level 100, so that should be interesting to see what those look like. I mean, if anything, it's all just exciting anyways, because it's all new stuff, and so we're just excited to get whatever, like, we sink our teeth into whatever new information we can for this expansion, because there's so much coming out. It looks so good, and we're so optimistic. If you're like me, at least, I say we, like I'm speaking for everybody. I'm extremely optimistic, and I'm very hopeful. But as always, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit it with a like, a comment, a share if you feel like it is worth sharing with other people, and I'll catch you next time.